pursuant to KRS 61.810, Section 1, subsection C, for the purpose of discussing proposed or pending litigation against or on behalf of the city, and KRS 61.810, Section 1, subsection F, for the purpose of discussing the potential appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee. May I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ackrey,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Tebby. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's go to the Roebling upstairs. Good evening. We are now at executive session. City of Covington, Kentucky caucus meeting will now continue. We need to do some housekeeping as far as the agenda goes. I'd like to add several items to the agenda. The resignation of City Manager Ken Smith will be placed right before the second reading of the ordinance, right after Human Resources, and also the appointment of Keith Bales will be after the resignation of Ken Smith. Those two items will be handled in legislative session. Also, we have another item that Chris Brown will be considered under item 27 to transfer Chris Brown to the Neighborhood Services Department. Any other items need to be added to the agenda? CCA. Okay, for Mr. Ackery, the CCA will be added to the agenda, and that will be before the administrative report handled by City Solicitor. So with that, we'll begin the meeting. We have nothing under presentations, nothing under City Manager's report, items for consideration. Mr. Schultz.
I think first, Mayor, we're going to have Commissioner Ackery introduce the CCA proposed legislation.
Okay.
Thank you, Solicitor. So I would like to request for an ordinance amending Section 112.05 of the Covington Code of Ordinances to utilize our city entertainment district, our entertainment destination center license that we already have established to establish a Covington Business District Common Consumption Area, which will eventually change that long name to something more catchy. But I'm going to add that on. There is a map, Commissioners, that's attached to this.
Okay. Without objection, we add it to the agenda. It'll be
First reading.
It'll be the first reading. It's the ordinance. Is there any questions for Commissioner Ackery under the first reading? Okay. So this will be considered to have its first reading.
Or it will have that first reading next week.
I'm sorry.
There.
We're in caucus. It'll have its first reading next week.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Now we'll move to the rest of the agenda under administration.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to be covering the administration portion tonight. For your consideration, I asked for 3 different orders, all which will be celebratory next week. The first is for the retirement of Police Chief Brian Valenti. The second is for promotion of Lieutenant Colonel Justin Wheatholder to Chief of Police. And the third is for the promotion of Captain Joshua Bornhorn to Assistant Chief of Police.
Okay, without objection, we're going to handle all 3 at the same time. Seeing no objection, we're going to have this as celebratory, and we'll have this one of the first items in the meeting.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Administration Department, item number 4. Will the clerk please report?
Which one is that?
Number 4, GBS Information Technology.
Okay, that's not me. That's,
Okay,
no.
well, I'm sorry. Esam, would you please? I'm sorry, Susan. It's been a long day. Yes, it has. Sorry. We'll get a rhythm here in just a second. We watch.
I'll help you guys. Good evening, Mayor and Commission. Tonight, I'm requesting an order to approve a renewal agreement for information technology services between the city and Global Business Solutions, Inc. to provide the following IT services, including but not limited to 24/7 system monitoring, patch management, system backups and disaster recovery, endpoint protection, and high-level system administration services. We have partnered with GBS for the last 2 years, and we've been satisfied with their support and services. And for this reason, I'm recommending a renewal for an additional 2-year term at an annual cost of $183,655. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them at this time.
Any questions for ESOM? Without objection, consent.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Legal Department. Ordinance renaming Holman Street.
Yes, Mayor. For your consideration is a request for an ordinance renaming Holman Street to Holman Avenue. Basically, right now there's a discrepancy within the city. Some signs refer to Holman as Holman Street. Some refer to it as Holman Avenue. It should be Holman Avenue, and so this would be correcting. We have a number of streets throughout the city like this, so we're periodically going to be trying to correct some of these.
Okay, any questions on that? I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a street ran north and south, and an avenue ran east and west.
That is very possible that would have been the rules quite a while ago. Under our ordinances, that is not the case anymore.
That's not our. It's not the case.
That's correct, Mayor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the next question I have is for the people on Holman, because growing up the city, I always knew it as Holman Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't know if there's anybody else older than me, and Keith. So I was just curious about the residents. I mean, have we
So this was actually brought to our attention by a resident. That's honestly the most that I know. But I can get you some more information, and if you would like, I can get the name of the resident that actually reached out to the administration about this.
Okay, regular. Okay, regular
Thank
it
you,
is. Thank you, sir. Public Works, Mr. Bales.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Tonight, Public Works has 2 agenda items. Both are relative to our annual paving contract. The first is a request for an order approving a contract with Eaton Asphalt for the capital resurfacing project in the amount of $470,715.20. This is paid out of the infrastructure fund.
Any questions, Mr. Bales? Seeing none, I would suggest to our community to take a look at our website, and they can see the list of these streets that are scheduled to be repaved. So without objection, that'll go on consent. Mr. Bales?
Thank you. The second is a request for an order approving a contract with Regular Blacktop for the CDBG funded resurfacing project in the amount of $290,698.
Any questions? Seeing none, consent. Thank you, sir. Economic Development, Mr. Sadowski, and Director West.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Before you is an order authorizing the city to execute a memorandum of agreement between the city and CCR MN Investment Partners, LLC, agreeing to undertake the issuance and sale of industrial building revenue bonds subject to the terms and conditions set forth in the memorandum of agreement. So this is an IRB with agreement with Silverman and Company. They are the developer behind blocks M and N at Central Riverfront. This is for the 277 unit mixed-use developments. And this is the terms of the pilot would be a 60% pilot for 20 years. So a little bit of background: during their inspection period, they received a bid that came in that exceeded the budget due to unanticipated escalation in the price of labor and materials. And really, it's impossible for them to do the structured parking component of this project without this IRB. So the request was made, and we underwrote the project, and we negotiated to a 60% 20-year term. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Sadowski? Seeing none, consent.
Okay.
Next item.
Next item is an order authorizing the mayor to execute a second amendment to the disposition and development agreement with CCR MN Investment Partners LLC. So again, this is related to the IRB. This will amend our existing development agreement to incorporate this IRB. It will also slightly change the terms of our purchase agreement. So it's going to increase the first payments to $1.5 million due at closing, followed by 4 annual installments of $275,000. So that was also part of the negotiation. We were able to increase the benefits of the city up front. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Sadowski? Commissioner Downey?
Can you further differentiate between what that change was?
Sure. The purchase terms? Yeah. So we have a deferred. Sorry,
the delta, like how it changed.
Oh, the delta. Yeah. So it increased the amount at closing by $500,000, and it decreased the annual installments from $400,000 to $275,000 for 4 years. So $2.6 million is the total purchase price.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Sadowski? Without objection, consent.
Okay. And lastly, an ordinance vacating a portion of Washington Street in the Covington Central Front site. So this is related to the Dries development at Block B. Early on in the process, I think, during the replat of the site. Sorry, I forgot to acknowledge the representatives from the development at Silverman here, so I apologize for
Thank you.
that.
Thank you. It wasn't like they were sitting around. Thank you. It's okay, John.
I am sorry. So, back to this ordinance. I know, it's so bad now.
Well, that's all right.
All right.
They'll be okay.
So the Dries development, we put a traffic light on the southwestern portion of the site, and it caused them to shift their site plan just a little bit to the east. So all the buildings are basically shifting to the east. And with that, in order to meet fire code and setback requirements, we're vacating a small sliver of the radius corner at the southeast portion of the site. So it's 22 square feet of right-of-way total. And there should be a map attached to the ordinance to kind of give you a visual.
Commissioner Downey?
Can you help me understand? Dries is already starting to get things together. We start putting in the traffic light. They didn't have to shift as a result. It feels like with that situation as described, there's a miss somewhere in there, whether that's on their end for not paying attention to the way things are laid out, our end for not communicating, or somewhere in the construction somebody's made a mistake. Can you help me understand what happened in that environment that caused the situation we had?
Yeah, I mean, you described it. It was a mistake pretty early on. So as I recall, the way that we originally drafted the plats, the city retained some right-of-way that was on their site, and they requested that we vacate it so that they can have the entire lot up to the sidewalk line to be vacated. And their reasoning was, well, we don't want, if the city wanted to put up a sign there or something, we wouldn't want that to potentially be on someone's yard. So we agreed to that, and I think somewhere during that timeline, it wasn't communicated that there was a traffic signal that was going to be there, and that's why we had the right of way originally. And then we also had a change in a project manager on the developer side too, like during this time as well. So I think there was just some miscommunication, and they drafted their plot plan, and when the traffic signal went up, they said, "Oh, well, we need to shift our buildings a little bit," and that's where we are today.
So I understand the need to shift, and given where we're at, it's ultimately not a very large issue because we're still in the very early stages. But in terms of the kind of the communication and the way that we're working with the developers, I want us to make sure that we clearly understand where the breakdown in communication happened, because we're getting ready to have a variety of different developments with a variety of different developers. And if we are not dotting every I and crossing every T, if we allow for those miscommunications to occur, even in a small amount, that can really cascade into larger problems that end up costing us money, or costing them money or something. And I want to make absolutely certain that we have eyes on it to ensure that that sort of thing doesn't happen.
Sure. Absolutely.
Who is watching that?
Well, we have an owner's rep that we work very closely with on this. We have the staff, economic development, helping to kind of align what's happening from a public infrastructure standpoint, which is the replat falling under that, helping to align the private development objectives, which is kind of what our department is really focused on, helping to align that with the public infrastructure stuff. So we work really closely with our owner's rep to do that. Does that answer your question? Or?
Not quite, but it's something that we can do. It's something that we can have a follow-up conversation on.
Sure.
Where I'm headed with this is, someone asked for special circumstances. We granted them because we're trying to be accommodating given the situation. But we were accommodating without looking at the full scope. And there's kind of the tactical boots on the ground, the people that are dealing with kind of the day-to-day stuff, and then there's the person that needs to be managing the whole overall arching picture to make sure that we're not missing that. And that piece of it is the one that I want to make sure that I have, okay, this got messed up. Who is the person that I need to talk to in order to make sure that that doesn't happen again?
Sure.
And that's what I want, because we're getting ready to go through a lot of these.
Yeah, making sure we have multiple.
I want to make sure. So that can be a follow-up conversation that we have, because I feel like I already know the answer, but I want to make sure that we're all operating at the same place.
No, absolutely. That's a good idea.
Any other questions? Okay. With seeing none, we'll move this to the agenda for next week to have its first reading as an ordinance.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Neighborhood Services Department, Mr. Holmes.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I have a few items for you this evening. The first is an agreement for consideration with Mayor Kay Conley, the Director of Rear Covington, requesting an order for the mayor to execute a contract, PSA, with Mayor Kay Conley for the 8th year of Rear Covington.
Any questions for Mr. Holmes? Seeing no questions, without objection, consent.
Second request is to reinstate Neighborhood Services Division for Code Enforcement Senior Inspector position. About 2.5 to 3 years ago, when we had some staff changings in the department, we had some budgetary issues also as a city. We opted not to refill that position at that point in time. The past couple of years, there's been more workload for neighborhood services, mainly in the code enforcement department, and it's time for us to have someone to take a look at the daily occurrences of what's going on, so our manager can focus on some of the higher lift things. So we'd like to reinstate the senior code inspector position with Alejandro, who's been on the team, has been a great member of the team for several years now, and for your consideration.
Any questions? Seeing no questions, without objection, consent.
next item for consideration, this is a first snapshot. So this is the first item that's involved with a larger project. We'll have depending on what the verdict is this evening, it'll depend on what the next steps are. But for the past couple of years, you've heard Neighborhood Services talk about Pleasant Street. This is a map of the 300 block of Pleasant Street. Everything that you see outlined in blue, the city owns. We have plans for development that will come forward after this meeting. But initially, right now, what we're asking for is to clear the site of 3 structures that have been demolished at 309 Pleasant, 338, 328 Pleasant. Those are all marked there. It's to clear the way for future development on those sites and to clear the way, so for future homeowners when they start to buy properties, they see that the development's coming and that the sites are clear and that some of the eyesores that have been there for some time are coming down. Here's a picture of 309 Pleasant. Maybe a brick structure, but the brick structure has significant foundation issues and structural issues. Do not have any pictures of the inside right now, but I can tell you that the inside has been burned out at least 3 or 4 times. Squatters all the time in there. We'll give you an idea of the amount of times in there to close it up. It's 309 Pleasant. 328 Pleasant is another property here. It's been sitting vacant for at least the past decade, not longer. And the last one is 338 Pleasant. It's part of a larger plan of all the lots that the city owns on Pleasant Street right now.
Any questions for Mr. Holmes? Seeing none, all those items 13, 14, 15 will be on consent.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you much.
Mr. Hammonds?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I have 3 items for you. First, I'd like to request that you formally adopt the consolidated plan, which is the 5-year strategic and 1-year annual action plan. I was here 2 weeks ago presenting on it.
Any questions for Mr. Hammonds on the action plan? Without objection, consent.
Next item are the program guidelines for our homeowner repair program. You set those guidelines annually. You set the eligibility and benefit levels for the year. These are mainly urgent home repairs, so roofs, gutters, sewer laterals, etc. And we're not proposing any material changes. It's a $10,000 grant.
Any questions on that? Seeing none, consent.
Lastly is the Home Buyer Assistance Program. It covers the whole consortium, which is Covington, Ludlow, Erlanger, Independence, Florence, Newport, Bellevue, Dayton. It helps people purchase homes. We're not proposing any material changes. And for your reference, it is a 10-year, $10,000 forgivable loan that is forgiven 10% each year.
It's a very good program. Any questions for Mr. Hammonds? Without objection, consent. Thank you. Chief Valente, second to the last time.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I've got 4 items for you. The first one is going to be the retirement of Sergeant Rob Fain. Sergeant Fain's been with us since January 9th of 2005, and he will be leaving us on August 1st.
Without objection, please. Is it celebratory?
Actually, none of these retirements will be celebratory.
Okay.
They won't be here.
Thank you. Without objection, consent.
The second item is going to be the retirement of Sergeant Jason Gray. He's been serving the city of Covington since November 14th of 2004. He is also leaving on August 1st.
Any questions? Seeing none. Without objection, consent.
All right, the third one is going to be the retirement of our lead lab tech, Angie Keller. She's been with us since June 8th of 1998.
Wow.
She served the entire career as a crime lab technician and has been lead technician since 2018.
Without objection, consent.
Okay, with my retirement and the other retirements that I read, it's going to cause a series of promotions. And this was in order of requesting the promotion of Lieutenant Jason Mackerlane to the rank of captain, Sergeant Rachel White to the rank of lieutenant, and Officers Austin Ross, Jacob McBee, and Steve Krieger to the rank of sergeant. All three of these officers are first in their respective eligibility lists, and for the sake of brevity, I won't read the entire next 2 pages of accomplishments.
Okay. Will they be celebratory?
They will be celebratory, yes, sir.
Okay. Without objection, I guess they're going to be celebratory. We'll be voting on them different, so they'll be regular under celebratory. Okay. I will say this, looking at the promotions, well, let's talk about retirements for a second. Truly, for the 3 sergeants or 2 sergeants and the lab technician, we certainly thank them for their service. It's not going to be a ceremony for them, but we are so glad that they served our community. And we look forward to the promotions. It's going to be a big night next Tuesday for our community. So, Chief, we will say our farewells to you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I would ask, Lieutenant Colonel Matt Winship is not here for item number 23. I believe we're going to pass on that to a later date.
That's correct. Item number 23, we're going to pass. Sorry, I didn't mention that at the beginning. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Human Resources Department, Director Lewis.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The first item I have for your consideration is an order approving the hire of Brianna Stegner as Records Custodian in the Police Department, and this is effective July 20th.
Any questions? Without objection, consent.
Second is an order approving request for order new hire Ian Hughes, and he would be a police officer in the Police Department effective August 17th.
Any questions? Without objection, consent.
Item number 26 is an order permitting the mayor to execute an agreement with Skyward Great Midwest, our medical stop-loss insurance renewal. This is annual. This is at the recommendation of Taylor Oswald, and this would be effective July 1st.
Any questions? Without objection, consent.
And lastly, the add this evening, an order requesting the approval of the transfer of Chris Brown to the Neighborhood Services Department, effective the 8th.
Any questions? Seeing none, without objection, consent.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Also,
you.
you can see item number 1, second reading of ordinances will be for next legislative session. Now, without objection, we will now enter into a legislative session with 2 items. Without objection, we don't need a vote to enter legislative session, do we?
I think we're okay.
We're okay?
Don't we have to adjourn and then do budget?
No,
I don't think we have to adjourn. We have to.
We'll come back out.
Yeah, we can. We just need a vote to take legislative action, unless there's any.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Schultz.
Thank you again, Mayor and Commissioners. For your first item for your consideration here is an order accepting the resignation of City Manager Ken Smith effective July 7th, 2025.
Okay. Do I have a motion accepting the resignation?
A motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second. Discussion? No discussion. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Eckery?
Aye.
Commissioner Downing?
Aye.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Tebby?
Aye.
Mayor Washington?
Aye. Record in the record that we have accepted City Manager Ken Smith's resignation.
Mayor and Commissioners, the second item for your consideration is an order approving the appointment of Keith Bales as interim city manager effective July 8th, 2025 through August 17th, 2025.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Smith, second by Commissioner Ackery. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Eckery?
Aye.
Commissioner Downing?
Aye.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Tebby?
Aye.
Mayor Washington.
Aye. Please record that Keith Bales will be the acting city manager. So with that, we're going to leave the legislative session, go back into the caucus session, and any commissioner discussion items. Seeing no commissioner discussion items, any commissioner comments? Commissioner Smith?
Yeah, I know Ken's not here, but I just wanted to sincerely thank him for all his leadership and years of service to the city. Just thank you.
Commissioner Downing?
And echoing Commissioner Smith's comments, I've really enjoyed working with Ken Smith over the years, and he will be missed.
Commissioner Ackery?
Yeah, obviously the same thing. Although my term has been short with Ken, it's been enlightening, and he's taught me a lot. So I appreciate his time as city manager.
Commissioner Teddy?
Just like Commissioner Ackery, I didn't have the opportunity to work with City Manager Ken Smith very long, but it's been a great time. I really enjoyed working with him, and I hope to see him around town.
Thank you. Any other commissioner comments? No commissioner comments? I'm sorry,
I
Commissioner?
would like to welcome Keith. Appreciate you. Sorry, City Manager Bales.
Any other commissioner comments? Seeing no commissioner comments, under my comments, just a couple. Ken Smith was one of the nicest people that I've had the opportunity to work with, and his service to the city is deeply appreciated, and we wish him well. Also, Keith, we know we're going to be fine under your leadership as interim city manager. As far as the city manager position goes, there's several applicants that the commissioners are going to be individually looking at and talking to. We believe that there'll probably be a fairly quick decision on action, possibly as early as next week. So with that, seeing no other business, we are adjourned. Oh, I'm sorry. You all are adjourned. We still got a lot to do. I'm sorry. Take that back. May I have a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing economic development under 61.810, Section 1, Subsection B, for the purpose of discussing economic development. May I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
To Commissioner Downing.
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Tebby. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carry. We do not expect any business after the executive session. So besides people that are going to be in the executive session, we wish you good night.
Susan, I'll tell you when you're out. Give you the time.